What's up, guys? My name is MadSquash924. Welcome back to another episode of some Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. We are here on Goto's yacht, about to leave it, as we are doing. We pretty much did everything we can here, and, goodbye, Goto. Oh well, sucks to suck, I guess. People really didn't like Goto, I guess. What can you do?
I can't believe we just blew up Goto's yacht. That's gonna destabilize crime throughout this whole sector.
Yeah, well, you'll
Good.
understand if I hold back the tears.
You don't understand. Crime in the YouTube system, it's like the economy. Plus the power vacuum.
The YouTube system?
Even if Voga gets up and running again, the system is going to be feeling the effects for years to come.
Yeah, well, at least we didn't find that Jedi Master with the weird name.
Zez-Kai Ell? Well, that's not true. I already found him. Actually, he found me first. He hired me to watch out for you, keep Goto off your back until he could meet with you. We'll need to head back to Nar Shaddaa, to that safe house off the docks. I said I'd meet up with him there if we ran into any trouble. What do you want now?
If you thought to escape my notice so easily, you would be wrong. As a token of my goodwill, I present to you a gift, this droid. It will serve you well on your journey.
Okay then, so why would I want this droid?
As I indicated, this unit will remain with you and guard you. It will also serve as an effective voice for my orders during your journey.
And how exactly do I know it won't try to kill me?
I cannot harm you. You are the key to saving the Republic. Pray that you do not prove yourself otherwise.
Goto has joined your party. He has the special powers over droids and cannot set off mines. Well, thank you for the droid, I suppose, Goto. Let's head back to Nar Shaddaa. So we have a new companion, Goto the droid, which is good.
So, you have returned from exile. Kavar thought you might, if only to wander your old battlegrounds. But I did not think you would come to Nar Shaddaa. Still, you were always a difficult one to read, both when you were tied to the Force, and even more when it was lost to you.
Why did Kavar think I would return from exile?
I do not know. It was a sense he had, and he had served in war, as you had. Perhaps he thought he understood you, or maybe he simply hoped he did. He felt you were the key to understanding the threat we face. The others were not so certain, but so many of them are gone now, as you no doubt know.
And exactly why me?
He sensed some connection between you and many of the worlds touched by war. He thought by traveling to such places, he could achieve understanding.
Well, I have some questions I want answered if you have the time.
No doubt. I think the answers will provide us both with some measure of peace. I have kept secrets for far too long.
So, as my first question, because I've been away for a while, I want to know what happened to all the Jedi, other than either shut off the lightsabers or died. How was it?
They have scattered, but there is purpose in their movements. It is both to hunt and draw out our enemies. Somehow, we, are being targeted through the Force, and when Jedi gather, we are vulnerable. So we have chosen places where it is difficult to sense others through the Force, whether on planets dense with life, or touched by war. In such places, we may conceal ourselves, gather information, without presenting ourselves as targets. It was part of Kavar's plan.
What plan?
Yes, he felt if our enemy cannot detect us, then perhaps they would believe themselves victorious and show themselves. And we knew that the war would be lost if we continued to act as we had. I do not know where they wander now. There are few of us, though. Too few, and I have not heard from them in some time.
Well, I know that Atris is on Telos.
Atris, but I had thought she had gone to Qatar with the others.
Well, you would be mistaken. And for some reason, that surprises you. Why?
Yes, she holds the last of the Jedi teachings. It is good she survived.
Well, I have other questions.
What I can tell you, I will.
I needed to know exactly why you guys cast me out of the order. I mean, I kind of have an idea, but I want your
He
perspective.
told you it was because you followed Revan to war, but you ask because you are not certain of that answer, nor were we. The day we cast you out, that is the moment I decided to leave the Order, because I do not believe we truly faced the reasons you were exiled, and if we do not examine such truths, then we are already lost. I think it was because we were afraid. It is a difficult thing to live one's life with the Force. To see a vision of what it would be like to be severed from it, it is more frightening than you know.
There are other questions.
Very well.
So, I'm curious, do you know anything about Force bonds and perhaps how to cut ties with them?
Yes, such bonds are a connection that can be formed at moments of crisis, or in the slow understanding that grows between master and apprentice. It is most common between two beings who are sensitive to the Force. It allows the transmission of feelings, of influence. It was something you were gifted with, as I recall, before your fall. You formed such attachments easier than most, even to those who could feel the Force only faintly. Even Vrook could not ignore it, which is saying something.
And there's no way to remove such a
I
bond?
do not know. A bond between two living beings is not something easily broken. It is not a choice. It is like breaking a feeling, like turning away from the Force. To break a bond, your feelings would have to change, or one of you would have to die. But even then, the bond wouldn't go away. It would simply be empty, a wound. One of you would have to die, but even then, the bond wouldn't go away. It would simply be empty.
There's other
Very
questions?
well.
Particularly, why did you want to hide here on Nar
I
Shaddaa?
had thought perhaps that here upon the Smuggler's Moon, I might find some evidence of the threat we faced. The bounties on Jedi and their disappearance. I did not believe the two were connected, but there was a chance. And the strong currents of life here on Nar Shaddaa make perceiving a Force user difficult. I could use it to cloak my movements and watch without being discovered.
I mean, that's not the only reason you came here to hide.
No, you are right. That is not the whole truth. It is difficult to detect a Force user on Nar Shaddaa, and I knew it. This threat we face, it leaves wounds in the Force when it strikes. It leaves nothing.
So then, you were fearful, and still are.
To live life without the Force, to vanish and die and leave only an echo, it was terrifying. To be connected to all life around you, then to have it stripped, I can only imagine what it must have been like for you. But even that imagining cannot compare with the truth. But there is more than that. On Nar Shaddaa, one cannot escape what was left from the Jedi Civil War. From the failure of the Masters, from our failure to properly train Jedi, came disaster. And I wondered if perhaps the teachings of the Jedi had been our failing all along. There have been so many failures by teachers who believed in the code with all their being. Master Arca failed Ulic, as Master Boss failed Exar Kun, as Kay and Zar and the others of the Council failed Revan and Malak. For all the acts we do to preserve the galaxy, from such an arrogance that all we do is right and just, I wonder if there is a counter-effect that is created that strikes back at us. Exar Kun, Ulic Keldroma, Malak, Revan, you, all Jedi. There is something wrong in the Force, a wound, a sound that is growing, like a scream. You can hear it echo on Nar Shaddaa, sometimes when the moon is on orbit. It is a frightening thing to feel, that perhaps being connected to all life is not enlightenment at all, but simply another doom. And I think that maybe, perhaps, to forsake the Force as you did, to cut loose our bonds, may not be the wrong thing to do. You taught me something important in the Council Chamber long ago, Exile, and it has stayed with me all these years. You were right to do what you did. Everything you did.
Wow. There are other things I wish to know.
Well.
Such as... We know they didn't cut us off from the Force, so that's stupid. I guess that's it. Whoa, I guess, well, I'm not gonna say this. So, why did you cut me off from the Force, then?
Is that what you think? We did no such thing, but it is a technique that has been used as punishment in the past, yes. It is a rare sentence, and to my knowledge, it has only been done once, at a moment where a Jedi discipline has failed. What caused your loss, I fear, was different. I am not certain I understand it. We did not understand it fully then, and only recently do I feel we may have become enlightened. The other masters may have more knowledge of this, but I do not. And I do not know if they even live. Does it matter? It seems your power has returned. Perhaps the loss was not a loss at all.
Well, that is all I wish to know. What happens now?
Now I must take up the role I was ready to cast aside. This threat has finally revealed itself, and we Jedi will need to stand together. I did not speak fully of what I have felt. Staying on Nar Shaddaa, it is an exile of sorts, one that I have chosen. I, too, lost a Padawan on Malachor, not to the battle, but to the alternative, to the teachings that Revan brought from the unknown regions. And I was not the only Jedi Master to watch a student turn on them.
Well, your students, your disciples, they were taught to protect innocents, and you were not.
No, they were not to blame, but many of the Order did so. It was a difficult time, a time of strong emotion. Perhaps the Council, perhaps the Order itself, had grown arrogant in their teachings. It is easy to cast blame, but it is perhaps time the Order accepted responsibility for their teachings and their arrogance, and come to recognize that perhaps we are flawed. Not once did I hear one of the Council claim responsibility for Revan, for Exar Kun, for Ulic, for Malak, or for you. Yet, you were the only one who came back from the wars to face our judgment. And rather than attempting to understand why you did what you did, we punished you instead. Our one chance to see where we had gone wrong, and we cast it aside. And now, that decision has come back to us and may carry with it our destruction. Perhaps there is something wrong in us, in our teachings, and though I tried, I could not cause that thought to leave me, so I left the Council. And I was not the only one. That is why many scattered, and why many in the Republic do not trust us, and why we do not trust ourselves. Make no mistake, I am no Jedi. This is the end, you see. After this, there will be nothing, and I think it will be for the best. Do you wish to do battle now? I have nothing more to say.
However, Revan redeemed himself, and that also must mean that there must be some hope for you as well.
It provides no comfort at all, for reasons in which I still must keep secret. Suffice to say, redemption was not Revan's choice, and I have never believed those of the Council who attempt to console themselves otherwise for the crime they committed.
So then, is there anything you can at least teach me?
But we have spoken enough, I think. In words I think dull us both. Let us speak through the Force, through sparring. This Tien form should prove appropriate. Its best use is when you are outnumbered, which I fear suits our predicament perfectly. You will find it easier to deflect blaster fire with this form, and it shall also guard you against critical strikes by your opponents. Perhaps exile has been good to you indeed. It has certainly not dulled your instincts, nor the speed at which you learn. I shall go to Dantooine, to the ruins of the Enclave. If you gather the others, I will meet you there. And thank you, Exile. You're returning. It is good that you are back among us.
Good. Well, I can't open this. Let's just use our lightsaber. Power battle armor. Okay. Alright, so now that we've done that... look at that. We have Goto. And he's evil. Wow. What was I gonna look at? Oh, right, the feats. There it is. I think it's under here. I could be wrong. Maybe it's under the powers. There it is. Xian. So, what this does, it gives us a +2 to our attack modifier. It gives us a -5 defense to our current target. However, we have a +1 to our critical multiplier. Pretty cool. And a +2 to our flash bolt deflections. What does it say? Anything else about being crit? He said something about we could be crit or something, or not be crit. So I think in most cases, when we are fighting a lot of people, Xian will actually be very helpful. Good. So now that also that Goto has been quote-unquote dealt with, that means we can now talk to Fasa about those other quests with the refugees, if you recall. Could you help transport a family to Telos? Okay, so the mother's name is Karana. She is in the refugee squad. Excuse me. Do you have any need for pilots? So, there's also another refugee. His name is Otis. And he will work for you for some sponsorship. Good. So those quests are pretty much done. I think we just gotta go talk to them. In fact, we don't. Their quests are done. Nice. We still gonna have to go to the refugee sector due to the fact that, there's still the Seriko that's alive, because I remember I had to go and do some off-camera stuff. I do not have Goto here, but rest assured he will trouble you no longer. Thank you. Meaning, we now have a fuel source for Telos, which is fantastic. Love that. We're getting a lot of things done today. I love it. Not battle meditation. Master speed, please. There we go. Now, I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to go to our ship right now, which we... Why is that sabotaged? Okay. Weird. If we want to go to the ship, or just pick up Mira now, because we do need Mira. Well, I guess let's head to the ship and talk to her, I suppose. Well, actually, hear me out. Let's do this. We'll bring her. We'll bring Atten as well, because we can actually gain some influence. And it's through these two. I'm not gonna level them up right now. Not yet, however. Because I don't know if I can get influence for both of them through this, because I know Atten can get it and Mira can get it. I don't know if both of them can get it if they're both present.
Please, look, I already paid the exchange what I have. Oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time. Look, these gentlemen are getting impatient.
No, you two can give me all your credits and you can jump into the central pit. Go on, go! It is true. Goodbye. And they died. I think we get influence for that one because we did technically help him.
How did you do that? Stay away from me.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not something you see every day. Guess they can't take
I
the
know.
Jedi out of the exile, can they?
I couldn't not help.
Well, whatever. We better keep moving. Didn't mean to waste your time talking.
See? Gain influence. Good. That doesn't look like Atten will get it. I really want an Atten to get it as well. But if we can do it by gaining light side instead, that would be ideal. But I know we can get it through that way. Which is cool. So let's talk to them again, but we'll do it quickly.
Please, look.
Da 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 da.
But-
Also, making them jump into the pit's kind of funny. Obviously evil. There's no need for this. Just go on your way. Bye bye. Hey, look, they didn't die this time. Crazy.
Are you crazy? That was exchange muscle. When they hear... It's your life.
Let them come.
I'm laying low for a while. Maybe they'll forget about me.
All right.
Well,
Does that give us
that's
anything?
not- Guess they can't take the...
Yep.
Well, whatever.
We still gain influence. However, we will not gain dark side that way. So technically, that's better. All right. Let's see about
hey.
talking to her.
Can I ask you something?
Something
Your
wrong?
face. Well, you have this glow. I mean,
Thanks.
not a real glow, but it's like you're calm. At peace, but it's more than that. You haven't been chewing on spice, have you?
When one is in touch with the Force, others can kind of feel it around them.
Well, it shows. It's like you're hooked up to a power coupling. It's weird. I mean, not bad weird, just weird. For a minute there, I thought you and Aden... But it's just the Force.
Me and Atten what?
You know, hooked up a power coupling. You know?
You know, I care about him, but I can't allow myself to form attachments now.
Got it. Just checking.
Okay.
Yeah, something wrong?
There were some questions I wanted to ask.
Mask.
Were you raised on Nar
More or
Shaddaa?
less. I wasn't born there. I just ended up there.
What happened to your
Well,
family?
the war happened. The first one against the Mandalorians. I had family right up until the end. It's not really a new story. You hear it all over the galaxy. It's what happens after the wars are over that you don't hear much about.
They died in the final
I think
battle.
so. After Revan crushed the Mandalorians, planets throughout the Republic were flooded with refugees. I was just one of the others. Me? I got passage to Nar Shaddaa. From there, not much you can do, so I became a bounty hunter.
How could have you lost family in Malachor 5? There were no colonies. It was a taboo world to the
Take a
Mandalorians.
guess, Jedi. Only 2 groups of people would have lost family at Malachor. And Jedi don't have families.
So you're a
As
Mandalorian?
much as any slave becomes a Mandalorian. They took prisoners on every world they conquered to bolster their ranks. And they took a lot of worlds.
So you were a slave?
When I was young, yeah. They mostly used me to carry ammo packs and munitions. Toward the end of the war, they needed everyone they could get. They taught me to fight, to hunt, to survive. I was part of their squad, even when I was young. Everyone served as part of the unit, and I felt like I had a place there. After Malachor, it really didn't matter anymore. Mandalorians lost. Bad. But you know that.
You don't sound too happy
Should I
about
be?
it.
Maybe I should ask you if you're happy about all the Jedi who died on Malachor 5. Maybe it felt like you lost family there, but I doubt it.
I mean, they just had to be stopped, you know?
Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you. I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it. Go ahead and ask.
Tell me a little bit about Honhar.
Onhar's only a bounty hunter because that's the closest word for what he does.
He's not out for credits. It's more vicious than that. And it runs a lot deeper. It's like he's out to make the whole galaxy suffer. Every living thing in it. He wants to break them, ruin them. And when they can't suffer anymore, he wants them dead.
What happened between the both of you?
Kill him once. Biggest mistake ever.
What do you mean?
That's a long story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think... What am I thinking? Hopefully we didn't mess it up, because I know you can gain influence here with Mira, as we just did. However, there's a point where you can piss her off, and then you can ask for forgiveness and gain influence with her. So I don't know if that makes us lose influence if we piss her off. If it does, we'll have to reload and go to the ship and do it. We'll see what happens.
Talk.
Just want to get to know you a little better is all.
You trying to be my mother? No thanks. Already had one. Somewhere.
Just how you needed a friend.
No thanks. I didn't need friends on Nar Shaddaa, and I don't need them now. Go ahead, Mask.
Why don't you kill your
I've
targets?
killed people before, but not if I don't have to.
Because all life is connected, and Malachor proved it, and you know what the loss of family means, even to your targets.
Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know Jedi didn't care about life there.
I've never stopped trying to protect the others, even at
Get away
Malachor.
from me. The next time you come and ask me a question, I swear I'll shoot you in the head and dump you out the airlock.
Okay, so yeah, we didn't lose any influence, that's good. But we did get light side.
What do you want now?
I just wanted to apologize.
Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me.
Oh. I'm still sorry you lost your family in Malachor, though.
Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends.
But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of lost people out there. Scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes, it's like you can almost hear them. Like an echo, calling out for each other.
And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together.
Well, all things are connected through the Force. From such acts of kindness, great things can come.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me.
Fair enough. See? Influence gain. That's the one I was worried about. And we are now maxed in the Force. That is very good, because that is something we can use here on, when we go to Korriban later on. Which I'm very excited about. Let's make another save right here. Because now we have 2 influence points with her. We can get 1 more.
Something wrong?
Through talking, I think. I think through the Hanhar one.
Mask. I didn't kill him once. Do you really want to hear this?
Yeah, I'd like to know what happened.
Well, Hanhar and me go way back, in the worst possible way. He's from some forest planet on the Outer Rim where Zerka had set up one of their slaving operations.
Do you know the name of his home
I
world?
don't remember the name. It's something with too many K's and Y's. It sounds like you're gargling Ronto spit when you say it.
So, Kashyyyk. Do you know what species he is?
No idea. He's just on her. I hope there aren't any more like him.
I get the impression he's not a good representative of his people, though. He's the equivalent of a mad calf hound among Rontos. Some of Voga the Hutt's men said Hanhar killed his own tribe, but those 2 crud thugs lie every time they open their mouths, so who knows?
Okay, so he was a slave.
Well, not for long. Once off planet, Hanhar escaped from the Zerka slavers, then killed them all.
Why was he wearing those cuffs then?
I don't know. I always thought he just liked using them as weapons.
Well, it's good that he broke free. Nothing deserves to be
Well,
caged.
before you get too proud of him, Hanhar figured Zerka had the right idea.
I don't think he understood the concept of slavery before, at least on the scale that Zerka practiced it. But now he did. You ever hear of Dursan 3, or the ID cluster colonies?
They were destroyed, no?
Right. That's because Hanhar happened. He makes what happened to his homeworld look like an exercise in community building. He's not a bounty hunter. He's a slaver. A predator. It's like he's out to enslave or kill every human in the galaxy, like he's trying to settle some huge score or debt. I don't get it, but he's dangerous.
So who did he work with?
Anyone who paid credits. And sometimes, he just hunted humans for sport. The ones who survived, he sold to the exchange, to the huts, to anyone who'd buy bodies. Living or dead. He and Voga used to do big credit transactions. That hut really liked the look of unwrinkled humans for some reason. Didn't make him too popular with the other huts, let me tell you.
So how do you factor in?
I was prey. And not only did I escape, but I saved his life while doing it. He's been hunting me ever since.
So he wants to capture you and kill you?
I don't pretend to understand it, but among his people, they have these codes of honor. But somewhere along the line, Hanhar's got twisted. His people form these things called life debts. If you save the life of one of them, they pledge themselves to you.
Okay. Well, that doesn't sound too bad.
Well, with Hanhar, he can't escape that life debt. It's bred into him. But he hates every other living thing in the galaxy, so pledging himself to someone else, especially a human, was unbearable. So when I saved his life, it was the worst thing I could do. It was like slavery all over again. But it was in his head. It was like it pushed him over the edge.
What do you mean?
A life debt to Hanhar is a death sentence. He'll hunt you until you're dead. When I saved his life, it meant he had to kill me. And so he kept chasing me in hopes I would die. I think the fact I showed him mercy after hating humans for so long, that was something he couldn't stand.
So, what if someone else tried to save his life? Would he try to kill them as well?
Probably. But if he had multiple life debts, especially to humans, Hanhar would probably go mad. He was angry before, sure, but it'd be 10 times worse if that happened.
Worse?
Hanhar's tough. Really tough. And when he loses it, it's like nothing can stop him. I've seen him shrug off blaster bolts, Bothan stunners, and even survive a freighter crash on Dursan 3. He keeps coming.
So you have regrets that he's gone then?
No, I'm glad he's gone. It's like a weight off my shoulders. I don't have to keep watching my back every minute, wondering when he's gonna show up. And he always did. It's like he always knew where I was.
Do you think there's any chance he's still alive?
Trust me, if he was still alive, he'd be chasing us even now, waiting to ambush us when we least expect it. And he always shows up at the worst possible time. He was one of the best bounty hunters on Nar Shaddaa. Hanhar never gives up on his prey. Or his life debts. He's a hunter. He's a natural predator.
So how exactly did you save his life?
Well, as happens on Nar Shaddaa, I made someone mad. Mad enough for them to send Hanhar after me. Turns out they were even able to get him cheap. He'd heard about me and wanted to hunt me down, for sport. He didn't think I'd be much of a challenge.
What happened?
Well, he tried to box me down in vents beneath the Nar Shaddaa docks, and he'd set one too many proximity mines to cover the escape routes.
So he tried to hem you with a minefield?
I think he'd hoped to drive me into the mines and then let them do the work. Or that I'd be too scared to try and walk through them. Thing is, I knew Hanhar's supplier, and the trigger signatures for the mines. It was pretty easy to broadcast a signal to blind their sensor receptors for a minute or two. I figured that would buy me enough time to move through them and get away.
But it didn't happen that way.
Like I said, I disarmed the trigger fuses for enough of the mines to get by, temporarily. And Hanhar was pretty fast on my trail. I just made it to safety when he hit the first one. The blast leveled the entire ventilation section. Hanhar was caught right in the middle, and he survived. Barely.
Barely?
He was crawling around, blinded from the flash and the plasma burns. And it happened so fast. All the blood had been scabbed and crusted from the flash. I had the drop on him, and even blind, he knew it. He could still hear me. My ears were ringing from the blast, but I could hear him. I think he was begging me to let him live. His voice, it wasn't a roar, more like an echo of it. I suppose I should have killed him, but I couldn't do it. He was in pain. He was helpless. So I dragged him out of there enough to get him to safety, and he kept hunting me ever since. He said he'd pursue me to the edge of the galaxy. No matter where I ran, he would find me and break me, and I would always be prey.
Well, sometimes it is stronger to spare life than to take it.
Maybe. I've thought about that moment. A lot.
Wondered if I would do things differently if I had another chance.
More influence. Good.
Yeah, something wrong?
Okay, let's run around here for a little bit. Because that was 3 influence points we got with her, and I think all we need is 3. And now, I believe if we just run around this central pit a little bit, I think a little cutscene will trigger with her, I believe. I just don't know where it is. It's also possible that I have to go to the ship first. In fact, that's probably what I gotta do. But, let me just run around this last little part. Okay, let's go to the ship. Because I want to do the thing with Mira's subclass first before we end the episode. And Mira's subclass is pretty freaking good. Obviously, you know what it is for people who played this game. For people who haven't played this game, you can get an idea because it happened to Bayodar as well. And then later on, when we go back down to Serco, because if you recall, I did kill them. I'll probably just go and kill them off camera, since you guys already saw me kill them before. But today's going to be a little bit of a longer episode because we're doing Mira's subclass.
What is it, Goto?
I have spent some time in the presence of your remote, and the upgrades you have performed on him are quite adequate. I am impressed with your work, though less so with your remote itself.
What's wrong with my remote?
I find his use of resources, energy spent on frivolous things, to be an unsightly waste. But it is obvious you have some skill, however slight, in the upgrading of machines. I want you to provide me with similar upgrades.
I should be able to do something. I will see what I can do next time I have a free moment.
Interesting. Okay. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go see Mira. Oh, I can also activate HK-47 behind her, which is dope. We'll not do that today, but...
Talk. Go ahead and ask.
She seems a little
All
restless.
this traveling, being trapped in the ship, everything's just too quiet.
Too quiet?
I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life.
Like Narshada?
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it.
How so?
Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity, aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive.
You know, Kreia showed me how to listen to Nar Shaddaa once. How all life there is connected, is bound to each other.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, maybe one day I'll show you.
Maybe one day, I'll let you.
Well, then let's go. And let me show you what Kreia has showed me.
Alright, but I doubt you're gonna show me anything I don't already know. And when you show me, don't act like a tourist. It attracts predators.
Okay. So, that's what we're going to do. We are going to go head back out. We'll bring Mira. Just Mira. Look at that, she's at max light side. Kind of crazy. Just like us. Alright, let's hurry. We're short on time. And I would like to level her up once we acquire her subclass. Now, I don't know where exactly it is here. I believe it just triggers. But I know it's around here somewhere.
Where are you stopping?
Ah, here we are. I just wanted you to stand here and, just take a listen.
I've been out here hundreds of times. There's nothing special about it.
No, there is. You can kind of feel the force here.
No, I don't believe in the Force. It's Jedi tricks, sleight of hand.
No, it's what you do, and I can prove it. Check this out.
I'd like to see. It's not gonna hurt, is it?
No, but it may help you put life and all its hopes in a different kind of perspective. Feel the currents here on Nar Shaddaa, the ebb of life. A simple kindness can be given to another.
Feel the currents here on Nar Shaddaa, the ebb of life. A simple kindness can be given to another.
This is the Force, and all our choices, from the greatest to the smallest, affect each other, and the echoes travel.
This is the Force, and all our choices, from the greatest to the smallest, affect each other, and the echoes travel.
Awaken, Mira.
I can feel this planet. I can't shut it out. It's louder now, it hurts. All these people.
You can learn to shut it out. There are Jedi techniques for calming the mind.
But if I become a Jedi, I'll have to turn myself in for the credits.
If you become a Jedi, Mira, such things will concern you no longer.
Are you gonna train me?
Only if you want me to, Mira. I have shown you the way, and I cannot force you down said path. Well, you would have to walk through it.
I want to become like you. I want to be strong. I don't want to be afraid or alone anymore. I don't want to keep running and looking and never feel like I'm finding what I'm looking for. I am tired of being hunted. When the galaxy takes something from me, I want the power to let go. And I want the power to heal the echo when it's gone.
One can live their whole life with such echoes, Mira, but I can teach you to accept them.
That sounds alright from where I'm standing.
AKA, we got a new Jedi. She has taken her first steps on the path of a Jedi Sentinel. She will grow in the ability as she travels and learns from you. And we get more light side from it, which is nice. And because now we have light side mastery, it gives us a +3 to our constitution as a passive. And that is also freaking insane. Alright, so now that we've done that, and she gets it as well. I didn't realize they also get it. That's kind of crazy. I love that. So, now that she is a Jedi, she can also use lightsabers such as us, which is fabulous. That's 2 of our characters that we can turn to a Jedi down. There's 2 more to go. One, obviously, is Atin, and the other is someone we have not yet met. Let's level her up. Now, she's a Jedi Sentinel, just like us. We are also Jedi Sentinels until we get our new subclass, which we will do as soon as we finish T3 M4's whole fixing of his parts. And I don't know what I want to do for her. I know she's gonna have finesse with lightsabers because she has dexterity. So yes, we'll give her that to start. We'll give her this, we'll give her that. Healing is just a good one. That looks pretty good. Now, what else do we want to give you? Probably this one. The Force Deflection. Force Deflection is just good. What is your con now? You have 19 dex, 12 con. So yeah, we'll give you another dex, so you have a 20. Which is fabulous. Feats. She already has dueling, so we'll finish her off with dueling. Which is cool. We can now acquire this one for you. Force Redirection. Good. So you don't have anything crazy. However, you do have some stuff. And we don't have some amazing robes for you as of yet. But we will at some point. And all her force abilities can be used with armor, which is good for now. So I can give her something else if I need to. Such as, I guess, I could give you the Masasi critical hit armor. For now. That might be something worth doing. But these ones are pretty good too, but let's give you this so you don't get crit. Anything else we can give you in the meantime? She has a plus 27 to hit with her frickin'... My goodness. Let's give her a sword. We'll upgrade it. Actually, nah. She doesn't need a sword because we need a lightsaber for her. So sword actually won't do her any good currently. Yeah. This makes sense. And she won't be able to be crit with this armor on, which is cool. And then I'm actually going to bring... do I want to bring Atten? Could bring Atten. Nah, let's bring Bayo.
I'm good to go.
What's going on?
Bayo's got his sword and stuff, which is dope. Okay, let's finish off the conversation with Mira, see if there's anything else to say to her. Once we do, and we exhaust all her dialogue, we'll be pretty much done with her, because we got the subclass for her.
I wanted to say thanks for what you showed me on Nar Shaddaa. It's gonna take some time to let it sink in, but thanks. I feel alive.
I mean, it was not my doing, Mira. I just merely showed you what you could do, and you chose to walk through it.
It's strange, but it feels right somehow, like a piece inside me just clicked into place.
Well, there's some other questions I want to ask. Let's see. You seem more comfortable on the Ebon Hawk now that you've been there for, like, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Feels better to be back here, not cooped up on that ship.
Why?
Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity. Aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive.
Right. It's an interesting way to put it, but I suppose it's true.
Yeah? Didn't think I'd hear a Jedi ever refer to Nar Shaddaa like that.
Life has a certain energy about it, especially here on Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah, something wrong?
Don't know. Let's find out. You raise a Nar Shaddaa, you and Hanhar, why don't you kill your targets, hope we can talk.
About what?
I guess we got these two left. Do you understand men?
Sure, they're easy. That's why I dress like this. When they're looking down to check you out, you can usually smash them on the base of the skull or deliver an uppercut that knocks them flat.
You make it sound easy.
It's simple. When you want a man, you jab him with a boffin stunner, then while he's screaming in pain, slap some stun cuffs on him. Then starve him for 2 or 3 days until he becomes open to suggestion, then double check his bounty and see if he's worth anything.
That sounds more like hunting.
Call it what you want. Me? I love my targets.
Ah,
Go
I see.
ahead and ask.
I just wanted to get to know you even more, is
Why,
all.
you trying to be my mother?
Nope, just wanted to be a friend.
No thanks. I didn't need friends on Nar...
Okay, she already said that, so yeah, we're basically done with her then. Cool. I like that, that's good. I'm glad she's all done. We got through all of her conversations. And she's a Jedi Sentinel now, level 3 Jedi Sentinel, which is freaking nice. Also because we're trying to get Atten to become one as well, I think I should probably hold off on leveling him any longer. And I know we can get an influence point over in Dantooine when we arrive there. However, it's going to require us to make Kreia lose 1 influence point. But I believe we got everything, well, not everything, 90% of the information from Kreia that we need, and losing 1 influence point I don't think will make a difference, which is fine. That's good. So, where is the refugee sector? There you are. So, we'll head here, where I'm going to take out Serico, because you guys already saw me take out Serico 1 time, and I will do that off camera, because there's no point in showing it to you guys again, since, you know, you saw it once. And I'll bring these 2 with me, and then once I do, I'll walk back to the ship, maybe to a workbench to do some upgrading off camera as well for you guys, so you don't have to see that, because it does take a bit of time. And then when we come back, we will see if there's any new conversations that can be held at the Ebon Hawk. So I'll see you guys then. If you guys liked today's episode, make sure you guys leave a like and a comment. Tell me you guys think of today's episode, of course. If you're new to my channel or have been watching me for a little while and you haven't done so as of yet, and you like this game or myself, feel free to subscribe to me, MadSquash924, over on YouTube, where my channel is right there. And don't forget to ring the bell so you can get notified for when a new episode comes out. and I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.